about the coronavirus in your town or city?
Uh, Here, there's no victims, but it's like something in calm, a rare calm, and strange calm, a strange calm.
Hi,
So,
Leonardo. What?
hello, teacher. How was the
Good evening,
things?
teacher.
Here? Oh, yeah, well, it's like, uh, well, I was hearing what you just mentioned about your situation there. That's great that everything is quiet and peaceful there. Um, Hopefully, it remains the same all the time. Here, well, in my case, I have not changed many things because, our modality is virtual. So I've been working like I usually do it, and I have been implementing like some like changes regarding washing my hands more frequently and being more careful not kissing my coworkers, etc. But yeah, so like so far nobody, my family or relatives have faced
Yes.
the situation yet.
Ah,
But
yes.
hopefully
Here,
they will.
there's no schools. There's no public and private schools, and some institutes. I think the next Saturday where I work, the institute maybe there's no class, but they don't they don't have been send any advice about. So here we have 5,050 person,
Uh-huh.
uh, 50 150,000 persons on 200,000 persons here in the department of Putumayo.
Uh-huh.
So maybe here there's a lot of the climate is too hot in those days, but it's like a normally. Yes, it's something normally, but
Well,
it's
the only thing is that children are not going to schools.
yes. The rest of the things are normally are normal. The rest of the things are normally.
Good. So hopefully the department don't get any foreigner visitors or visitors from other parts of the country. So you get protected there while this passes. This goes by.
Yes.
Good. Mayra, hi. How are you?
Hi, good evening. Good, tired, because we're working very hard. Kids are not going to school, but we are creating like an online program in 2 days for 3 weeks.
Yes,
So
I guess it's really hard. I mean,
really hard.
yeah, but
I
well,
I have I
you
have
know,
to do that too, teacher. I have to do that. So we have to learn about that in a few days.
uh well, the good part of this is that we are learning something, not only technology but other issues. That makes us more aware of other things. Yes. Juan Pablo, tell us about you. I
Mm,
think for you it's like not many changes because you work at home, right?
yes, I work at home. My wife works in a public school, so she at the moment or at the moment she doesn't have classes in the school with kids, but she has to go to the school to prepare, um, yeah, to make the plans, and yeah, in my town, thank God there isn't uh, any any problem with the virus. No, we are near Medellin, but thank God Medellin in the moment only have have less cases that in, for example, in Bogota, and there isn't a my town isn't very touristic. It isn't a tourist place, so uh, maybe because of that we don't have many relation with other people. Yeah, and I have been in at home.
Okay, good. Just give me 1 minute, please. Thank you. Well, I think we can like start with our practice tonight. The idea is that you share the information that you read about the news, and if you want, you can share your screen, or if you want, I can share mine with your presentations as you want. The idea is that first, you tell each one of you tell like the generalities of the news, like the a summary of what you read, and then you use your PowerPoint presentations to tell in detail uh, the aspects of the news, the details of the news. Hugo, welcome to the counter.
Good evening, teacher.
Okay, so I don't know who wants to start.
Me, teacher.
Okay, Leonardo, you want to share your screen or you want me to share your presentation? Shall I share my screen with your presentation, or do you want to share your screen?
If you, wait, I just put in.
Okay, yes.
Can you see? Can you see?
Yes, I can
Or
see.
if you, teacher, if you want to put any uh, to fix or
No, it's okay. That's okay.
okay, okay.
So tell us
Uh,
like the main idea of the news. What is that about? And where the news are from? Um, like the main aspects of the news. What did you read about, Leonard?
about to in Finland and in Norway, I can remember the government gave uh, time to the um, to the fathers to stay with the mothers after they recently just born the babies more time. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So the first one was the government said they was putting children at the center. Yes.
Uh-huh.
The
So it's a
government.
new law, right? It's a new policy in Finland for families when they have a newborn at home.
Yes. So the government said they was putting children at the center. Yes, is
Uh-huh.
right.
Well, actually, you have they. So the verb that you need to use is where. The government said they were putting children at the center.
Okay. The country said announced Wednesday parents be would be allowed to transfer up to 69 of their own days to the other parent if they so decided.
Okay. Do you remember how many days are they given when they have a newborn at home?
Can you repeat, please, teacher?
Do you remember the number of days they are parents are given when they have a newborn at home in Finland?
About a month.
A month. No, more than a month.
More, yes, more than about 60 days, 2 months. I think 2 months. Near
No,
that.
no, 69 days each one. So it means that if there is only one person who wants to take it, like the father or the mother, the person can take 140 more or less days.
Okay. The news said that for single parents, the country was giving out 320 and 28 days to the parent.
Okay, there you have. So it's three, all that.
Nearly 1 year, a year.
Okay.
The new policy, yes, is
Yes,
good,
policy. Yes.
had said to go into effect in fall 2021 at the earliest is the significant step from the current rules.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
The news said that Finland currently had allowed about 4 months for maternity leave and about 2 months for fathers.
Okay.
That's it.
Exactly. So do you really think that is a new rule uh, that is what is the origin of the rule? What do you think is the origin of the rule? Why is Finland doing that?
I can't remember, teacher, what is the origin, but in Europe, in the continent, okay, Finland is a part of the Scandinavian countries.
Yes.
In the in Europe, in Europe, they got an agree for give more time to the fathers, and they decided to extend that term.
The time. Did you watch a video that was in the same link or in the same web page about an interview to a man, not a manager, but a person who works for the government in Finland? Did you have the chance to watch that video?
I saw a little. It was a new
Uh-huh.
by it was broadcasted by CNN.
And uh-huh. Yeah, and there was an interview to a woman who is from Finland. And well, the thing is that the man said that the system in Finland, if you remember, he explained that the system in Finland uh, asks the citizens to pay very expensive taxes, but people there actually profit from that because they have free free access to school, free access to education. They have also some benefits in health those who live in the big cities. And they need to keep that system. So what is going on in Finland is that they are running out of children. Their citizens are getting old, which means that in the near future there won't be enough citizens that pay taxes to keep the system. So in order to encourage families to have babies and have like more citizens to keep the system going on, they change the rule and they are giving more time for parents to enjoy with babies. So families, I mean, people like get uh, more interested in having babies, and they get like uh, young people for Finland and to continue the system, to keep the system going. That's what the government, the person who worked for the government, explained that is going on there. Okay, good. Questions for Leonardo? Comments about this news?
No, teacher, that's okay.
Buddy?
Okay.
Okay, so who wants to continue to be
Teacher.
next? Juan Pablo, you have
Yeah.
your presentation there or you
Yeah.
want me to share?
Yes, I want. What is it? Here. Okay. The news that I chose is about a new hotel that Disney is going to release. Yeah, it wasn't to, it was expected to be released this year, but that isn't going to be possible. So in Florida, uh, there is going to be a hotel based on Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars universe. Yeah, I don't know much about it because I haven't seen any movie, but the hotel is going to be based on that universe and is going to simulate that experience. That Star Wars is about spaceships, and that hotel is is going to be like an spaceship, and and people are going to have like an experience in the universe. Yeah, so this hotel is going to be released by 2000, 2022. This year is going to be released. That's the summary of the news.
Okay, very good.
Now, okay, the title of the news is Disney's immersive new Star Wars hotel will begin taking reservation later this year. And bueno, the news said that Disney had announced that reservation would open later this year for Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, a two-day, two-night, all-immersive vacation simulating life in the Star Wars universe. And Morrow said that Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser was a completely new time experience, and we will live on board a Star Cruiser, and we could get wrapped up in the larger Star Wars story. The news said that though reservations were set to begin this year, the actual experience wouldn't open until 2021 at the Walt Disney World at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. The news said that fans will begin their ascent into space by entering the terminal before being sent into space via a launch pod. It's a simulating experience.
Uh-huh.
And Johnson said that everything in the spaceship wanted to reinforce that feeling of we were on a Star Cruiser. in a galaxy far, far away. And these other aspects are about the universe. They aren't about the hotel, but they are regarding the Star Wars universe. The news said that it'd been a good 3 months for the popular movie franchise, whose later release, The Rise of Skywalker, had brought in 32 million in the United States on Christmas alone. And the news said that The Mandalorian, a Disney show taking place within the Star Wars universe, had also seen success, especially with the popularity of its Baby Yoda character. That's it.
Okay, good. So you have not, I thought you had chosen that news because you were fan of Star Wars. But you said you have not seen any of those movies, right? Juan Pablo?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen any type of this movie. I have heard about it, but I don't know.
It's not the type of movies you like.
Maybe it could be, but I haven't tried. Maybe it hasn't called my attention. Maybe
Uh-huh.
they
Do you
haven't
prefer comedy, action movies, or
adventure in animation, animated movies, cartoon movies. I like and fiction. I this type of movies are fiction,
yeah,
but I haven't tried.
you haven't seen any of those? Okay, very
Okay.
good. Questions for Juan Pablo? Any of you? Would any of you like go pay only to go to that hotel?
I think it would be a great experience uh, because it's something that we don't
Experience?
that experience in or something that we aren't used to seeing in our life.
Uh-huh.
I have one. What is that new hotel located?
It is going to be located in Florida. In Florida, actually, where the world of Disney is located. All that is a resort, a tourist place in Florida, and there is going to
Uh,
located that hotel.
in Tampa, maybe. I thought, think it is that.
Orlando, I think, is
Orlando,
located
Uh,
there.
in
okay.
Florida, Orlando, Florida.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Have you seen any of those movies, Hugo and Henry and Mayra?
No, to share my case, I haven't seen a movie like that with that name.
I have seen.
You've seen those movies, Leonardo? You like them?
Yes, I like it. I like it. Yes, I like a lot. I like a lot because they says in a far away place on the universe, and I say, oh, maybe it exists.
Well, you know there are other galaxies and other
Yes,
universes in the world.
I think there's millions, billions of uh, planets and civilizations. Maybe it was a soul trip from the the author, the the director, because he's very alive. Yes, I think that sometimes, for example, in the terror movies,
Uh-huh.
maybe they leave that how they can imagine that things, those things. I think that happened. For example, Julio Verne.
Uh-huh.
Julio Verne. When you, I'm a really fan about Julio Verne. I really reread reread all his books because it described very good and described things. For example, the trip to the moon, and when the 20 leguas de viaje submarino, and he describes the submarine like 1,000 years, 70, it's 1,100 years before, and they are very, and in that time, uh, with
That
the
didn't exist.
didn't exist, and um, I recommend. No, he only not wrote science fiction. Science fiction. He wrote another's. Del Faro, El Fin del Mundo, Los Hermanos Karamazov, the Karamazov brothers. It's he described very good the time of the SARS of Russia, and it is based in a true in a true true thing that happened.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's amazing to think that somebody can like describe things in such a way, things that don't exist at the time they wrote or they described those objects that
Yes,
didn't exist at the time, or somebody who nowadays is describing something that doesn't exist, and then later on that object is built or appears or is used. So, or maybe it's the opposite. So things are created based on the imagination of people who have described it before.
yes, teacher.
Good. Mayra, and what about you? You like Star Wars movies?
No, teacher, I don't like them. I tried to see one, but no, I didn't feel like the connection with the story. I don't like Star Wars, Harry Potter. Those kind of movies are not my thing.
Okay, good. Good. So who wants to share the news that you read?
I want to continue, teacher.
Good. So please share your screen.
So the news that I chose was about, well, the name of the article was Ford is turning McDonald's coffee waste into headlights. So it says that, well, there are two companies, Ford and McDonald's. They joined to create headlights, which are the things that cover the lamps in the cars, and to create those headlights using coffee waste, which is the coffee chaff. When the coffee is roasted, sorry, when the coffee is roasted, the skin of the coffee, that thing, is the material that they can use to create these headlights. It also says that Ford has been using organic materials since many years. They used tomato. They use soy based things to create parts of the cars. Um, what else? Well, both companies are very concerned about the environment. So that's why Ford wants to include the coffee shop in the creation of the headlights. And also McDonald's wants to create coffee cups that are environmentally friendly. And that's it. That's what I remember. So the sentences where the news said that the companies had also been developing innovative, sustainable materials to build consumer Debbie Miwilski, Senior Technical Leader of Material Sustainability for Ford, explained that traditionally Ford used plastic and tack to make its headlamp housing. Debbie Miwilski said that the coffee version was more sustainable because it was lighter and didn't use the tack, which as a mineral wasn't renewable. Miwilski said that coffee chaff, on the other hand, was widely available and much of it went to waste. The news said that Ford had decided to work with coffee chaff a few years before, but it had been experimenting with organic materials for over a decade. Daniel said that partnership between Ford and McDonald's was an example of how brands with distinct sustainability initiatives could work together. Olson said that it was just scratching the surface of trying to understand what was possible. That's it.
Okay, very good, Mayra. Did you know that they had been working with other materials to build the other parts of the car, not only the headlamps, but also cushions and other parts? I didn't know that after I read.
I didn't know either. Yeah, they are using, I don't remember the name of the material, but to make the cushions, they are using organic materials too.
And they mentioned, well, the article mentioned other parts of the car that I don't remember right now, those parts, but and other companies too, not only Ford, but other automobile companies that are also building some parts of their cars based on organic products.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you guys know about other objects that are made out of organic materials?
Here in Mocoa, some person brought bags made it of by sustainable
Sustainable?
sustainable materials. But the problem is that they are very expensive. Yes, they are very expensive. Yes,
Yeah.
that is the problem. And that is the challenge to the made fabricants. I don't know.
The producers or the companies or
the companies who produce this kind of materials.
Well, I guess if we have new laws regarding using only those type of plastic bags, I guess the price, the cost of those objects will be reduced. But yeah, it's like we need the law, so we just start using objects that are. There are a lot of objects that are made out of organic products, like one time you call that those plastics that we use just once. For example, when we want to take food home, we buy it in a restaurant. So those plastics are also produced with organic materials, but they are more expensive. So people who own those restaurants or those business, they don't buy the products that are more expensive. They buy the ones that are cheaper.
Teacher, now there is a new law that in San Andres and Providencia, now from this year or the next year, they don't they won't be able to use plastic. Yes, it's a law.
Where did you say?
Yeah, in San Andres and Providence.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Uh,
the only way that we start changing. Like we need
and in a
post
place of,
some things.
oh, excuse me, teacher.
No,
In a
no.
place in a term of time of 10 years or 15 years, in Colombia there won't be plastic material. Yes, but
Or plastic bags.
the first place is San Andres and Providencia.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. Good to know. Anybody else knows like a product made out of organic material?
There are some
Uh-huh.
straws that are made of organic material, but they are super expensive too.
Yeah, I think those straws are made out of the avocado seed. I heard that. And the company is based in Mexico.
Mm.
Yeah, anybody else knows other product made out of organic materials? No? Questions for Mayra about her presentation? Comments about her presentation? Nobody?
No, teacher.
Okay, so who wants to be next, Hugo or Henry?
Me, teacher.
Okay, Hugo, go ahead, please.
Excuse me. Okay, my presentation or the article is about a non-profit company called News Stories that built some houses in the rural part of Mexico in a impoverished community. Eh, they hope to boil a whole community of 50 houses. Uh, but the novelty is that they use a 3D printer to build the houses. And the houses are for people with many needs who earns less than $3 a day per day, and in place where flooding occurs in the rainy season. Um, the, they use a 3D printer called Vulcan 2, and it was built by a company called Icon. Is a construction technology company in United States, and mm, that was the first home building project. It was done with 3D printing. The the printer works by injecting special concrete and building the house by segments from from the bottom to top. Is the printer works. So
Very good, Hugo. So we have three companies there, right? One that is, all of them are non-profit.
yes,
One builds the houses, the other one built the printer, the other one is in charge of choosing the families that have a low income. Well, the three of them are working for this project, right?
yes, teacher.
As you mentioned, what is new about this is that they have a giant printer which uses concrete that is pump or that pumps the concrete to build the houses. So, but as you see, the houses are like well designed.
A teacher regarding, sorry,
One, yes, yes, one.
regarding 3D printing, I have read that one of the challenge for the future is is to print organs. Yeah, I have read that in a project in an English project last year. So that's amazing. It's a challenge that science has. Eh, I think that is incredible.
Yeah, that sounds weird. Like it is, I guess it is connected with the idea of clone organs to have, like to use for different illnesses. But well, technology advances very quickly, so I guess it would be possible. What is strange there is like the ethical part, because if we talk about building organs,
Yeah, it is a
so
challenge. I read about it.
yeah, but that's interesting. Questions for Hugo or comments about the presentation? No? Okay. So thanks, Hugo. Okay, right. So finally, we have Henry's presentation.
Okay, teacher. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So the article about the drones in Africa, for me, it was so interesting because it helped me to understand how the technology is helping them in order to improve their lifestyle. They improve everything they need to focus because, as we know, Africa is one of the continents that uh, has difficulties like with people, health, with everything. So for me, it was a really good article. So this is the presentation, Mapping the Future with African First Drone Academy. Yeah. The news said that when Tubiko Singwe was 24, had been in Somoforo, year studying for his degree in earth science. He had faced with a difficult task. Um, Singwe told CNN that he had remembered asking himself about how he could solve his problem. Singwe was the main character in this um, article because Singwe was the person who started to think about how could he help the people because in that time in Africa the people um, were being, oh my goodness, what is the word? Ad Abducted. It's like kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, kidnapped because they were albinis. Albinis.
Well, I don't get the idea. Where los estaban
So
secuestrando?
yeah, because they were albinismo, because they
Yes.
were, yeah.
That's
And it says that the people, because they said that being with a person who has albinism, it could bring them look, yeah. So he saw that situation and he thought about how could he help the people to avoid those situations. Okay, so it's a that was the principal idea for him in order to think about drones. The news said that after some research, we had found about the African Drone and Data Academy, the first in Africa, and we have become one of the first cohorts of the institution we had opened last month in Malawi. So in this part, you can see, as you can see, there is a presentation about Singwe, and he started to think about how to build drones in order to help in this case his country. Those drones were used in order to study, for example, to get data about possible floods in the future, maybe security, in order to improve the security, because Africa, one of the, in that time, Africa, the country was um, wasn't safe at all. So he started to think about how to help the people in that way. Mm, the news said that Singwe was one of the 16 Malawis and 10 nationals from Uganda, Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania, Botswana, Sierra Leone, Ethiopia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo that was enrolled. So uh, one of, like most of the countries in Africa were enrolled in order to build drones in order to keep like um, the welfare in many times. As I said, um, using the technology, they could um, mm, they could mm, get information about the the, the physical characteristics of everything. Like, for example, if they want to build a road, they could get an idea how the the land was um, mm, mm, o sea, tenían idea
Was being
cómo
used?
construir. Tell me, teacher.
How the land was being used?
Yeah, how can they, for example, get their harvest? Yeah. Um, how the river um, is, um, it could help them to get mm, water. Yeah. So that's, there are a lot of things that they talk about making drones. The news said that UNICEF Malawi and the government of Malawi have been spearheading the use of drones and data in the international development and humanitarian context. So UNICEF Malawi and the government um, create like uh, a drones academy in order to increase their economical growth. Yeah, in order to help the people to get factories, to get jobs, to bring um, first aid kits for the diseases that they had in that time. For example, cholera and malaria. Yeah. So using these drones, they they were able to to help the people in order to bring them the the products that they need. Yeah. The news said that in June 2007, they had opened the first drone testing corridor worldwide as a technology-friendly environment for local and international drone companies to test their solutions. So as you see in this image, they use the drones in order to go and back to different cities, and including these drones sometimes were used as antennas in order to improve the signal about uh, cell phone companies. Mm, yeah, that is the main idea. Um, UNICEF Malawi representative Rudolf Swenk said that drones, data, and artificial intelligence were leapfrog technologies that allow more informed in energy development response and potentially accelerate economic growth in the region. So this is the representative from UNICEF Malawi, and he said that bringing building drones will help them to increase their economic growth. And finally, this is the images, the pictures about the news. The news said that in 2017, the charity had opened the first humanitarian drone testing corridor in Malawi. So the main idea of this article is to show us that through these men, Tubiko Singwe, they started to create drones in order to satisfy their needs. Yeah, like uh, health needs, um, economical needs, because as we know, Africa is one of the continents that has the more difficulties in about everything, water, resources. So the article is very interesting. Um, this yesterday I read about that this country is accelerating the process in order to and constructing or building more drones because they know that using drones we help them faster in order to get uh, quickly solutions to their problems. Yeah, as I said, um, keeping mm, um, or getting more ideas about how to improve their economical situation in this case. So that's it for a while.
Okay, thank you, Henry. Questions for Henry? Do you guys know about rules for using drones in Colombia, or have you heard about different uses that are given to those drones in our country?
Um, I know something that about drones, but I don't know it is official. But when you get a drone, you have to use it in certain places. Like you can use it in military buildings
Mhm.
or airports. You can use it also. And for example, oh, as I say, military. When you are, for example, in when the airplanes um, um, how
Land?
to say that? Yeah, like
Near airports.
yeah, near airports. I think that is idea.
Right. What else have you guys heard about the different uses are given in our country for those drones?
Teacher, in our country, they are using um, like in Guatemala to describe hidden constructions. Yes,
Uh-huh.
Guatemala, they found a new Maya buildings. So they are using here to, in a military way, in a military form, to to find a not Santun cities, places. You know what I say? You know what I
Sacred?
mean?
Sacred places.
And not saint places,
Uh-huh. But
not the no, no legal places.
okay. Okay. Well, now that
Ah, excuse me, teacher.
no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
what
Ah,
you
they use it,
mentioned.
for example, in to aspersion,
Ah, let's see.
but it's very expensive. It's more expensive than contract people, and the air spread
Spray.
the the veneno, the poison, the poison to another places. That was the main uh, reason that they won't use again the drones.
Yeah, spraying. I found it in
That's
the
right.
dictionary. So for spraying the poison to kill some plants, right? Yeah, and then you mentioned the idea that in Guatemala it is used to find out some places that are hidden. And recently I watched a program about a foreigner who came to Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta and used the drone to discover one part that has not been explored before. So with the drone and with his program, computer program, he could like design or let other people see that there is one part that hasn't been explored and that probably has like a, a new old community or the new or that had old buildings that were inhabited before by indigenous people in an area that is not very easy to arrive because it's very stepped in the mountains. So with the drone, he was able like to map the area. What other uses have you seen or have you heard that are given to drones?
For example, when there are some disasters, for example, in another article that I read, it mentioned that in Japan, the authorities use drones in order to look for people and survivors. Yeah, so I think it's very useful to get a drone and and use it for that um, situations. Yeah.
Right. So,
In
um,
in police surveillance, maybe teacher.
uh-huh.
Uh,
Yes.
I have seen in the news that the police use them in some situation surveillance.
Yes. I've also seen those drones that are managed by police officers
Mhm.
for surveillance, as you mentioned. Any other use? It's cheaper than a helicopter and is useful because it can get to small places or you can get closer to a specific area. So they are really useful, as Henry mentioned, for disasters, to look for people, for places, for surveillance.
Um, yeah, like I mentioned in the presentation, sometimes the drones are used or are being used to span Wi-Fi or cell phone signals. Yeah. So in Africa, they're used to get drones for that for those reasons because um, sometimes the geography doesn't allow them to get the antennas. I don't know how to say
Antennas.
antennas. So they instead of that they use drones to span the Wi-Fi or cell signals.
Uh-huh.
I so like for months like this year, the, the, the beginning of this year, I read uh, an article that in Mexico, some druggers, yep,
So,
druggers like
uh,
narcotraficantes,
uh-huh.
they use a drone in order to get drugs inside a jail.
Huh.
So they use the drone in order to transport marijuana, cocaine, and cell phones. And it was easier.
Yes, I guess it is used for also bad things like
Yep.
the one that you just mentioned.
Yes.
Good. So, like most of the news that you read were about technology that is being used for construction, for surveillance, um, for entertainment, in the case of Star Wars, for building things like the case of the headlights for cars, etc. So like all of them like were connected in with the idea of technology that is used in different areas, and which I find it interesting that the way technology advances and help us in our daily lives and in different things. Okay, so before we finish, I would like to know if you uh, have been working on Dexware, and if probably you have like questions or topic that you want to review tonight related to a grammar thing that you don't understand or that you have doubts about.
Teacher, and some, for example, when you say a animal, and some person say a animal, yes, or a animal. Uh, I mean, my question is, it has any rule? No, I know it's an article, yes, it's an article with that, but it is because the when they say that they change the tone or the the pitch is because it's depends of the place of the where they talk about.
Um, I don't know if you're asking about the pronunciation or the use of the article, because I thought
No,
your
the use
question
of
was.
the article, it's clear, but the pronunciation, because I have heard, for example, in some movies, some person says animal, animal, yes,
Uh-huh.
but another say a, another say a, and they are Americans or they are British. They don't they aren't Latins. So I think that depends of the.
Oh, yeah, it depends on the person who is, or the origin of the person. So here in the dictionary, we see that for people in Great Britain, the pronunciation is the stress is in the first syllable, and the vowel is pronounced animal. So it's an open a. When you see this sound, is because the vowel, you need to open your mouth a lot to pronounce that vowel. So it's animal, animal. And as you see, this forgot the word. This thing that you see here before the sound means that the stress is made at the first syllable. While in
Okay.
USA, we have two different pronunciations. One that is more similar to the American one, the British one, at the beginning, the stress is at the first syllable, and the first vowel is pronounced the same. But in other places in the USA, it is not pronounced with the same vowel, and the stress is in the second syllable.
Teacher, can say in Spanish?
Yes, sure.
A ver, lo que pasa es que yo escuchaba en ciertos, pues, videos y, pues, por aquí han llegado gente de otros países, ¿no?
Ajá.
Pues uno trata como de practicar con ellos alguna cosa. Y por ejemplo, ellos dicen, yo creo que ella está equivocada en el A. Ellos dicen, ey, la letra A, hay unos que lo dicen ey, hay otros que dicen A, y otros dicen E. Dicen ahí, ahí. Ahí.
Ajá.
Entonces yo les pregunto y ellos tampoco saben.
No, it
Digo que sí
depends.
es.
It depends, as you mentioned, on the origin of the person. So
Ah,
here we have the letter
pues,
A for UK, for the people from UK, is pronounced A, or a wiki, E. Cuando tienes este sonido es una vocal que no es clara. Es como si pusieras la boca como si fueras a decir como una, no es O, no es, como si fueras a decir una A, pero dices una E, no muy clara. E. Este sonido que tienes acá, que se llama schwa. Entonces, according to the dictionary, in UK, that article can be pronounced as A or as A, right? If we see what the dictionary tells us about how it is pronounced in USA, let's see. It says that is A, right? So yes, it depends on the place where, or it depends on the origin of the person, where the person is from. So the article will be pronounced differently.
okay, thank you, teacher.
Right. If you want to practice the pronunciation of vowels, you will find out very useful videos with exercises in YouTube. So you just need to type the sound in YouTube. You type pronunciation of, and you type the sound. And there you will have different videos with exercises and explanations about the way you need to put your tongue, the place where you need to put your tongue, how you have to throw the air, etc., and different exercises. So will be very useful if you practice them. So you can like copy from the dictionary the sound and paste it in YouTube to find out the videos. Okay, any other question?
No, teacher, thank you.
All right, Lunar. Next week, you will be working on your first project, right? So, and then we will have the midterm. So let me know for the midterm if you have questions about grammar, if you want me to review something.
Teacher,
What?
regarding the study guide, Mm, the meter is from 2000 is from next Monday to 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 Tuesday.
No, not next Monday, but uh, no, it will be because our course ends in May, the 30th, the 30th of May. Your midterm will be on March 30th and 31st. You have those two options. So maybe I made a mistake and I wrote the wrong date in the timetable. But since we finish in 2 more months, your midterm will be the 30th and the 31st.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay.
All right. So next week you will have the project.
So, teacher, in before doing the meeting, can you maybe tell us about mm, the specific or yeah grammar or vocabulary we are going to work on?
That is going to be assessed. Yes, it will be mainly about conditionals, passive voice, and reported speech. And it will be based on readings. You will have to, based on readings, you will have some questions that have gaps for you to complete with the correct option about the correct form of the verb for the topics that I mentioned: conditionals, reported speech, passive voice. Good. Other question?
So, teacher, for this week, it is about the forum, right?
This week, your
About my
homework.
opinions about zoos.
Exactly. That's this week's
Okay.
task. You have to audio record your answers to the questions, and you have to listen to one of your classmates' answers and type or just type a comment.
Okay. Okay. The next week is the project.
Next week, you work on the project.
In 2 more weeks is the midterm.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Good.
We just have only to record and we have to write on the phone.
You have to audio record your answers to the questions about your opinions about zoos, and then listen to your classmates, at least one of your classmates'
A
answers,
comment. Mhm.
and type a comment in the
Oh,
forum.
Okay, that is
okay.
done. We need to write on the forum.
Yes, you need to write in the forum. Or if you prefer, audio record your comment for your classmate as you want.
Okay.
Okay, good. So that's all for tonight. Thank you for your
Okay, thank you, teacher.
presentations. I really enjoyed uh, reading those presentations and listening to your presentations.
Okay,
Thank you
teacher.
very much, everybody. Please take care. Be careful. Well, I know it has been said for all the time in the news, but let's try to keep to obey and follow the rules so we get rid of the virus soon.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Okay,
Bye
thank
bye,
you,
Bye.
teacher.
everybody.
Take care.
Have a
Bye
good
bye.
night.
Take care.